What if I am the one who did it? Are you going to condemn me now? Were those three special to you? Were they your friends?
Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Rollback Reviews. And for this video, we're going to be delving into one of, if not my favorite arch-rival hero, villain, evil characters of all time. One who is considered a blessing, and another who is considered all but a curse. And that said curse and that said blessing are Itadori, Yuji and Mahito. When it comes to character creation, the first thing that a person thinks about when creating a character is this character going to be a good person, or is this character going to be a bad person? And so once they add these few characters into the roster, they then start creating a story based off of how they became that said good person, how they became that said villain. And with that, it will spark a new cycle of hero defeating villains, villains defeating heroes, but heroes get back up stronger than ever and defeating the villains. And it always kind of questions me over how and why these sort of cycles exist. Maybe it's to teach us a lesson about that we're all good, and that at some point in time, the evilness in which the world has become has molded us into this state of crisis, or it's just from other people by using their anger, depression, anxiety, the trauma, everything that is negative about them onto that said person, just because that said person does not have the same tragedy as them, and therefore it would also mold them to become even worse than the person that has made their life so full of shit, so full of anger and despair. This also applies to all the jujutsukaisen characters, where you have some that were completely disgraced, that were disowned, people that didn't care much about them, or it's the fact that even though they tried so hard to protect those they love, they end up failing. And that same failing leads up to them feeling as if it was a sin, and that sin they must carry, and a sin that they must repent for, even if it involves them getting hit or damn near getting killed for that. But there are some who aren't born with these things, who are not born with the simple trauma or simple hatred from humanity, and instead they are the physical, or rather they are the manifestation of humanity's negative emotions turned into one. This character that has harbored that said negative energy and it's been cultivated into one is Mahito, and the one who carries on both the positive and the negative energies of humanity is Itadori Yuji. And Gege Akutami had a perfect idea of how to put these characters together, and that was the Shibuya arc incident. And in that sort of arc, it was a perfect way to describe everything about Mahito and his role, and how he thinks his role has no real consequences and no real ties to it, whilst Itadori tries to find meaning and purpose in his role as he tries to save as much people as he possibly can from the consequences that he believed was his own strength, in which Mahito uses Itadori's excuses and sins as to why he couldn't do it as a way to tell him that there is no forgiveness in a war, and that all ideas are shattered when it comes to doing what you need to do, in which eventually Itadori finally figures out that there is no meaning, purpose, or reasoning to kill curses like Mahito. A curse that is nothing more than just a prey to Itadori, a prey to humanity, for the simple fact that Mahito is just a small scale of what humanity truly is. And as Mahito looks closely at Itadori, he sees for what humanity truly is, and it scares him to the point where he has to find help that will never actually help him, but will only find another human being that's even worse than Itadori, a person that is even more eviler, Sukuna himself. And that realization that Mahito is not the full extent of humanity's own despair, but instead is nothing more than just a curse that is not human and therefore must be eliminated at all costs. That was the true reason as to why Mahito was so scared of Itadori Yuji. Because somewhere in the future, when Mahito is born, there will be more humans like Itadori Yuji that will stop at nothing to chase Mahito, to view Mahito as nothing short of a prey that's waiting to be fed, that's waiting to be killed for no reason, no purpose, or no meaning. This is just God tier writing from Akutami himself, because what we are seeing are two characters that are not covering themselves with a mask, nor are they trying to pretend to be something. This is who they truly are. And the difference between these two is that Itadori is an actual human, while Mahito is simply just a curse that represents humanity's darkness. And once he sees humanity's darkness, how it truly is, within Itadori Yuji, he becomes literally scared for his life. And honestly, that would scare most humans too, because most humans are always wearing a mask, always pretending to become something they're not, or rather trying their best to shield themselves from their darker selves. A lot of people try to cover themselves or mask themselves just so that they can shield away from the darkness that's within them, or rather try to fit in with some minority groups. Say for instance, like for parties or basketball or anything that's related socially. Or most commonly, they try to protect the humanity that is human. But do they understand, and understand what it is to be human? Like Batman, for instance, he has a moral code, and that moral code is to never kill anyone, strangers, dangers, or anyone that is deemed a threat. He cannot kill. Why can't he kill them? Because if he were to kill them, he would basically become just like them. He's no better than the Joker. He's no better than the Punisher. Hell, he's no better than the entire MK1 cast. Shit, he's no better than half of the Justice League people who evidently actually kills. I mean, they already messed up Injustice, so yeah. The point is that Mahito told Itadori something very, very important. And it's that no matter what ideals that Itadori has, this will never change the war, nor will it change why the war happened. And so with that, Itadori begins to realize that nothing he says will ever matter to those who literally crave off of destruction and selfishness and nothing else. In a sense, it's like dealing with a child, which ironically, Mahito is only 1 year old. But yeah, knowing that Mahito is just a year old would explain why he has such a childish way of destroying things and even manipulating other people, because all this, he just sees it as just natural, just something normal to him, something he was always born with, right? But could never really fully grasp as to why he has this sort of childishness. And that through Mahito's perspective, he sees every other jujutsukaisen sorcerer as literally just an adult that has yet to know their true purpose. And Mahito seems to be the only one that already knows his true purpose, or feels like he knows his true purpose. And that's by feeling the souls of others and himself. For Itadori, he just can't seem to quite understand what Mahito is, and just never will. And I think that's just probably for the best of it. In fact, that's probably is the best way, because understanding someone like Mahito is like trying to understand a Rubik's Cube. But the difference between a normal Rubik's Cube and Mahito's Rubik's Cube is that you'll never find out how to fucking figure out this Rubik's Cube. You only know one thing: this Rubik's Cube is fucking difficult, and nobody's gonna deal with that shit. So all this time, you just learned a number of things about Mahito, and honestly, the only thing he's learned about from Mahito is that there are those who are too selfish to learn how to be selfless. And so the only way to truly defeat them is by being selfless. And that by being selfless, you don't even realize that you are turning out exactly like the selfish. The only difference is that that selflessness has good intentions. And in 100 years, when people come into Jujutsu High School to learn about cursed energy and about themselves, they will first have to learn what it is to be a Jujutsu sorcerer, how much effort, cost, sacrifices, and innate will action to change the outcome of the battle and maybe the war. And Itadori Yuji would be the perfect person to showcase and tell a story, or rather the things that he has done over those 100 years, and tell these students which of these actions, or whether or not the action that he did was justifiable and that was the right path. And from there, who knows? Maybe that said action would change the way how jujutsu sorcerers will view curses, and how it will give him a better understanding as to who they are as a human. And maybe it might look into their powers as not just a curse, or the output of that said curse a bad thing, but rather as a blessing. And that said blessing can be used to stop any and all curses. They themselves will become the alphas. They will join in packs and will start to hunt curses one by one till they are satisfied, and that the real reason, and that by letting every curses know that the reason they exist is because of humans, and they can keep taking them back where they belong over and over and over again. So to all the curses and the natural disasters, survive while you can, because the hunt has just begun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, man. I know it took a while, so I apologize if this took longer than expected, but hey, at least I got it out. If you like this video, please like and subscribe for more content. I will be giving you guys new news and updates in the community tabs, and eventually it will be transferred onto Instagram. So then, please like and subscribe for more content, for more information, more reviews, and hey, I'll see you next time. Peace.